Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Blu Ray Hunter. I'm the Blu Ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and we've got a fun show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the Criterion 4K4 Crossing Delancey. I only watched the 4K. I did not watch the Blu-ray, but I will also tell you afterwards what we have for like special features and stuff like that as well. Um, so first of all, I thought that the screen looked great. Like, I mean, I don't know, for whatever reason, it looked great. Like I wouldn't have known that this was a 1980s movie. Had I, saw it. It looked very crisp. It's a 1988 film. But I'm gonna go right into the real review, the actual review of the movie. Um, so usually I do stuff for like Criterion Watch. And Chilly Scenes of Winter, also done by Criterion, also done by Joan Micklin Silver, was on um on Criterion Watch. However, this probably won't be, and here's why. I'm gonna get into like I'm gonna get into the real thing with this. Um, it just it just wasn't as interesting. Not saying that Amy Irving wasn't a great actress and that Peter Riegert wasn't a good actor and all the characters, Bubby, everybody was just fantastic. I loved every single person in this movie. Don't get me wrong. The writing was to me just kind of, and this was based on a play, so I can kind of see where it might work better as a play. But as a film, it's cute. It's fun. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I think it had potential to be better. Um, the thing I really loved about Chilly Scenes of Winter is that the movie for Chilly Scenes of Winter is more, I don't know, it's just more real. Everything felt real. The conversations felt real. The just the story felt real, all of that. And a lot of that has to do with the writing. I felt like the writing very much felt like a play. And I think that's what didn't interest me. I thought that as a film, I just was sort of I wasn't bored. That was a great thing about it. I was not bored throughout the whole thing. I did want to know what was going to happen. But by the end of it, I didn't care. Um, So usually in a script, like toward the end, toward like right before the third act, something happens that, ruins the relationship and they have to get it back or whatever. I thought that's where they were going to go with this. But unfortunately, Izzy, the character of Izzy, is so hung up on this author guy, probably because he's really good looking and he's kind of the seems kind of the bad boy. He had this uh, assistant that became his ex-assistant and was his girlfriend, and then I guess she dumped him, something happened, and he later on moved on to her. And but she got set up. The story is like she got set up by her grandmother's friend who is a marriage broker, aka matchmaker, and she's been trying to, you know, help um people in New York who are bachelors or bachelorettes, try to get them together. And she does kind of find a match with Sam, played by Peter Riegert, and Izzy, um played by Amy Irving. Amy and Peter are perfect. And I think that's where, like, obviously as a person, I'm so like I want them to be together and I'm so excited for it. And then when it happens at the end, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go buy it at, I will tell you, go buy it. Like telling you, it's a 4-star movie for me, so that's not a bad thing. Um, but go buy it at Barnes and Noble right now for the 50% off sale, please. My big problem with it is the end of the movie. The it didn't feel. I didn't feel it at the end. I didn't feel like she because it if I thought it was gonna go a completely different way, and I was kind of sad that it didn't. So, also, if you haven't seen Chilly Scenes of Winter, I'm about to spoil a big thing at that. But that movie ended on a down note, and it is probably one of the most sort of sad but sort of realistic feeling sadness, I had, and it lingers. You feel it, like, you'll remember that. I don't think I'll ever remember the ending of this movie. And it just feels more like a studio. Like, oh, who put this out? Warner Brothers. It felt like Warner Brothers had their hand in and said, I don't like an ending where it's like sad. Let's make this happy. Make sure that they end up together at the end. Everybody will be happy with that. And I think if they had ended it with those two not being together, like he goes out with her friend Marilyn at the end, I think that would have been the perfect ending. And like because he's being sort of betrayed by her when she goes to this, to the guy's house that she liked before, and then and then they're kind of making out, and then he wants her to be, I think what should have happened was that when he had made up his mind that I think I should go, I think he should have gone. And then she gets there, she's trying to, or at least we don't know if he's gone, and he's gone. He doesn't come back. She's hoping that maybe he'll walk through the, thing, but he doesn't. And so like the next day she tries to talk to him, but he's with Maryland, and he stays with Maryland. And she doesn't have him, and she's alone at the end. I think that would have been a better ending. I know it's sad, but I feel like the ending that we have right now, they would have had to add something extra to make it even bigger, in my opinion. And I think a lot of that, I would love to hear at some point if some of it was because the studio kind of dipped their hands into this and told people what to do and said we need a happy ending. We can't have a sad ending. I want to know if there's like an alternate ending where she doesn't get him, and I bet that would have been the better ending, you know. But unfortunately, this is the ending that we get, and it's pseudo happy to me because it's happy, but like I still don't buy that she's gonna be happy with this guy. I don't think she's gonna get married to this guy. The way that she acts, she's just very, you know, sp spontaneous, and she just is okay with the way she is, like she doesn't really change. Because if she changed, the turning point really would have been when the guy asked her to go, and she says, "No, I'd rather be with this guy." And that would have been the ending I would have liked if you wanted to go happy ending. It would have been not the last 20 minutes, but it would have been the last like 10 minutes or whatever. And she goes, "You know what? I'm gonna be with this guy." And you see her like that. But because she went with the other guy, I just don't feel like her heart was completely with the dude. And she even says like he's a nice guy. She's not attracted to that. She might have liked the kiss that they had, but that attraction, I think that kiss wouldn't last very long, um, in my opinion. So I just feel like the ending to the movie was sort of blah to me. Like it ends, it has a happy ending so abruptly that it just doesn't feel real. It feels forced, in my opinion, and I just didn't like it. It wasn't my thing. But The rest of the movie was cute. It had really great moments. I did love seeing Rosemary Harris, who was uh I think Tobey Maguire's, Aunt May in Spider-Man. I did love seeing David Hyde Pierce. I wish his role had been bigger. I think he would just started, or maybe he was not on Frasier just yet. Frasier just yet. Um, I I liked I liked the lady who played Bubby, the grandma. I even loved the matchmaker. I thought she was really funny. She was definitely a character. Um, One of the greatest scenes is the scene right here behind me where she does cross Delancey to come see him, and that's where the title of the where the title comes from, Crossing Delancey. And that is, you know, that's great. I even love the artwork. I thought the artwork was great. Is this a movie I'll watch like again? Yes, absolutely. I'll probably watch this occasionally, like if it's rainy outside and I need something just to sort of make me feel good. This is that kind of movie to me. It gives me that 80s and 90s feel where I'm transported back to like romantic comedies that just were cute. That's all they were. They were harmless and cute. There was no, there was nothing bad about it. Dangerous about it. And I think that was the thing about her. She wanted somebody dangerous and everything. And she ends up with the pickle man, who is a great guy, you know? Um, but for the longest time, she just didn't know what she wanted. And when she sort of gets to know him, you know, she realizes he's better for her. And she kind of keeps messing up. And so, there's like one scene where they're having this little soiree and he got invited, but he was dating, her friend Marilyn, but he always wanted her. Like he wanted her. He didn't want Marilyn. So he comes to see her at the soiree and she's with the other dude at first, and then right? And then they leave together and it's so cute. It's such a great scene. Um, it's a scene that will warm my heart every time I watch it, I'm sure. But aside from that, I just don't think this will be something that like chilly scenes of winter. I put it on my desert, like yeah, if I had to take 10 movies to the on a desert island, I took that one. And that mainly because it's a seasonal movie. And I think during the winters, I would love to watch it because it's a cozy movie during the winter. I can't say this about, I don't even know what time. I guess this is fall, but it could be any time, in my opinion, in New York. So I don't know. Fall, winter, spring, I don't know. I don't think it's summer. They have too many clothes on, like too many layers. But it doesn't feel anything. It feels like a movie that was just sort of, and look, I love Joan Micklin Silver. Don't get me wrong. I had a blast watching this movie, and I will definitely watch more of her films. I hope more of her films come on Criterion. I'm sad that I didn't know who she was when she was alive. But I am very happy to discover her now and stuff. So, but aside from that, that's it. That's all I got to say about this. This is a cute little movie. Hope you enjoy it. That's about it. So now I'm going to tell you guys the special features that they have. Um, let's see. There's a new program on the making of the film featuring actors Amy Irving and Peter Riegert and screenwriter Susan Sandler. Audio interview with from 1988 with the director Joe Micklin Silver, and there's trailers. All of that is on the Blu-ray, not the 4K. So just so you know. But aside from that, I think this is a great movie for people who are big romantic comedy fans. Maybe some people will really get a kick out of it, but I don't think I'll ever, I don't. I mean, I think I'll watch it again. but I don't think this will be something I'll watch over and over and over again. I think I like it better than movies like Moonstruck, which get a lot of attention. I need to rewatch that at some point, but I just didn't like that movie last year. I watched that, I was like, eh. I love Nicolas Cage and I love Cher, but it just didn't do anything for me. Um and this movie did. This movie did a lot. And I kind of wish you know, I wish I got to know more about the director before she passed. So, but until then, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this and let me know what you guys think. All right. Bye.